GT350 wheels, or what size tires should I be running. As far as wheels, as you guys know, I have the 18-inch wheels. Got his SVE wheels.
What is up, guys, and welcome to another video. And in today's video, as you guys can tell, I went ahead and added wheels and tires to the car. So that's basically what we're going to be talking about, what I went with, why I went with that. And honestly, it's been a long time coming. As you guys know, if you've been following the channel for a long time, I've been talking about this modification forever. I got the car back in 2015, November, I believe. And since then, I was thinking about getting wheels and tires. My thought was like, let the tires, get old, let the tread go away on those stock tires, and then I'll finally get some new wheels and tires. And that time period came along in 2019. I ended up actually just getting new tires for the vehicle. Back then, I decided to save my money. I was still in school, still, just didn't know what my financial future looked like. I didn't have necessarily a steady job, steady income. I was doing internships, typical college stuff. So I didn't really have a lot of extra money to spend. So I decided to hold off during that time period. And I went ahead and just put on another fresh pair of tires. So my stock tires didn't last me all the way from 2015 to now. They lasted me about 3 years. And now the set of tires that I put on the vehicle back in 2019 lasted me another 3 years. So here we are. Times changed. I have more money now, a little bit more money to do this type of stuff. And so I went ahead and pulled the trigger on a new set of wheels and tires. Now, as you guys know, like I mentioned before, I've been thinking about this for so long. And during really the past 6 years, I've looked at so many different options. In my most recent videos, I looked at bronze wheels. I asked you guys, your opinions. I've made Instagram posts about it. I even asked friends. And the main reason I was looking at bronze wheels, just because I felt like bronze is really something you don't see too often. You may see it on like a lot of Subarus, a lot of Japanese domestic motor cars or something like that. But really, especially on Mustangs, American cars, not too many people are running bronze wheels. And if they are, it's typically on trucks. And I felt like the color of my Mustang, which is deep impact blue, might be able to pull it off. I still feel like it would have looked pretty good. However, I just felt like over time, the bronze wheels was probably a look that I personally would have got tired of, and ultimately would have probably looked to get new wheels probably within a year, maybe 2 years. Again, I will say I do think I would have been able to pull it off. I think it would look great on the car. But the main reason why I kind of lean more towards hyper dark was for the reason of I felt like the longevity. I felt like that look, was more, while it is a little bit more basic, I felt like overall it was going to be something that would look good on the car as time went on. So that was one factor of me going with hyper dark wheels. I also looked at different options as far as like the GT performance spec wheels. I do really like those. However, again, that's just another wheel option that I felt like is really common and really easy to find. Seeing how they're still putting those wheels on cars today, it is technically a factory option if you do option the GT performance pack. So, I wasn't necessarily trying to get something that everyone else already had. I also did take a look at the GT350 wheels, and honestly, I did like those. Again, that, kind of came and went. As I started looking more at the styling, it seemed a little bit more basic. And I really wasn't just a fan of the, 5-spoke or 4-spoke. I can't really remember exactly off the top of my head what it is. But I really just wanted something a little bit more intricate. So overall, I kind of came to the conclusion. I started looking at more wheels on American Muscle, and eventually I landed on the GT 500 wheels from 2013. So once I did narrow it down to the GT 500 wheels from 2013, one big thing that I did need to figure out was the size of wheel that I wanted to go with, as well as what would give me the best ride. I was a little bit concerned, going from, a 55 sidewall to, a 35 sidewall is what I have now in the car. I was concerned about, would that affect my ride overall? Because, a lot of people do say that, having a larger sidewall on your tire can affect the overall ride. And overall, I will say I haven't felt that, and I'll get into that a little bit more in the video later on. But that were a lot of things that I was considering, and honestly, a huge shout out to American Muscle because they were able to help me figure this out. I can't remember the guy's name who I spoke to during the chat and over the phone, but they were able to throw a discount in there, and I think I saved $60 total over the order, and some other things. And they were able to give me good direction as far as what size I needed to go with. So towards the end of my conversation with American Muscle, I was able to go ahead and knock down my selection to the 20-inch wheel is ultimately what I decided to go with. So I'm really happy with the overall look of the car. I also was able to pick up the LH5 all-season tires. Now I believe that they're performance all-season. As you guys know, I'm in Virginia, and I believe the last video that I actually posted on the channel is actually snowing, which was about 6 months ago. So my tires need to be able to stand up in just about any conditions, and that's what all seasons are for. The overall drive difference going from my stock setup is maybe it feels like there's a little bit more tire under the car. I actually do think that the car got lifted up a little bit more since I'm on a larger size wheel and tire. Now, I don't really care about the car getting higher because one of the biggest things, like I mentioned before, I really did care about the appearance of the car, and one of those things being fitment. And I will say there's probably a couple of different ways that I could get my fitment a little bit better. I could try to get that, that really nice tuck, I think with some spacers and wheel spacers and stuff like that. So maybe I'll look at that down the road. Maybe I shouldn't have went with a 35 size sidewall. Maybe I should have went with 40s. I don't think that would have been an issue in the back, but maybe in the front it would have been a little bit more of an issue with rubbing. I'm not sure, I could ask and look around. I don't think they suggest going over the size that I have in the front, which is again that 235, that 255 35 20, which is up front, as well as in the back. If I didn't mention that by now, I did go all the way around same size, just because of the economic standpoint of being able to rotate my tires and getting more life out of my tires. So now that I finally have these wheels and tires on the car, after thinking about it and pushing it back for almost 6 years now, there is one more thing that I just noticed about the car that I didn't really care about or really didn't notice too much until I got the wheels and tires, and that is just the overall effect that it had on the car. While I definitely think the car actually looks like it's different now and doesn't look stock, I feel like it made another part of the car, which is the front end of the car, look a little bit more basic. I was looking around the car. I have the spoiler, the GT350 style spoiler on the back. I've got the rear deck lid that's blacked out. I've got my tail light covers now. I've got wheels now. So looking around the entire of the car, there's just one part of the car that's still stock, and it's the front end. And again, like I said, the car still definitely looks good in the form that it is now. But I really want to do something to the front end. So let me know what you guys think, because I was looking at a couple of different options. I was looking at getting different grills and then getting different front end splitters. And the only reason why I'm a little turned off to the front lip or front splitter situation is because of the roads, at least in my area in Lynchburg, Virginia. There's some driveways getting on to certain businesses where I'm sure that thing's gonna scrape. A lot of splitters just honestly last for about a year to 2 years. They just get torn up. It's to be expected for getting that type of modification. And I was looking at the cost of what it would take to get a grill that I want. I was looking at some of the RTR grills and stuff like that, and it looks like it'd be in the $700 range. And once I started looking at that, and along with that, with the front splitter, like I mentioned, I was like, well, I'm gonna probably be close to $1,000. So then I just started looking at, front fascias all over. And really what I'd narrowed it down to was the GT350 front fascia. I believe it's the MP Concepts, and I believe there's another brand out there as well. The MP Concept seems to be a really popular one. America also has a video on it showing the install and all that stuff. I believe the unpainted option is $900. I don't believe that there is a painted option. So that's really what I'm leaning towards, and I really think it would complete the overall look of the car. And maybe, I'll throw in a hood in the future or something like that. I would also love to wrap my mirrors black and also wrap my roof black and stuff like that, just tie off those little pieces. But I really do feel like right now the next thing to do as far as appearance wise to the car is to go ahead and get something done to the front end, whether that be that 350 front fascia or those grills and a front lip or something like that. So really I hopefully plan to doing that within a year, really before the end of 2022. I would love to get that on the car and just get the appearance of this car looking, finally what I've always wanted it to be. So let me know what you guys think, what I should do. And overall, guys, I'm really happy with the way the car looks. That's all I got for today's video. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. And I hope to throw a new one towards your way soon.